Welcome back to my round 2 game of GP Izmir. I'm playing against Gynoidpoet, who's on Temur Tempo, and I'm not super happy about this matchup because, well, they have a bunch of counter spells against my pod effects, and they're tempo thick, so they can out-tempo my mid-range beatdown plan. But I'm on a play, so that's a good sign, and this hand's also, well, it's great if I... this is such a risky keep. I think I do keep it anyways, but I'm taking a big risk by doing this, because if I don't draw anything for Pensive Songwriters, then they're just 3-mana 2/1s. It feels bad, but I think I definitely keep. I'm hoping to dodge the, I guess, Void Flares. So I lead off on Rampant Summit. I really want to fetch basics because I don't want to take too much damage because then I die to their burn. And Amber Hills needs to fetch a blue source because otherwise these Mass X die and I'm mana screwed. Otherwise, I'm going to be taking a bunch of damage for my mana base, which means Rampant Summit's more correct because maybe I draw something that makes me not have to fetch with Amber Hills. But yeah, turn on Mana Ascetic. Let's see how they react. They have the Void Flare. Wayfarer's trying. They play, okay, Wayfarer did pass. I mean, that's sort of good because it kind of implies Cosmic Sinkhole, in which case I can just play Masek and pass too. Actually, do I want to try to bait a Cosmic Sinkhole with a useless Pensive Soundwriter? No, if I play Masek, then next turn I get to untap with 5 mana, which does not get me Cosmic Sinkhole, or does not get conjured through a Cosmic Sinkhole. I mean, Wayfarer's Shrine is definitely fetching Forest. Yeah, the question is basically, do I want to jam Pensive Songwriter into Cosmic Sinkhole in order to get rid of a Cosmic Sinkhole from Gynoidpoet's hand? I think the answer here is I want to hold off on Cosmic Sinkhole or I want to hold off from doing that because I want to get more mana, because having more mana lets me pay for Gynoidpoet's counters. At least that's my logic here. What do I do next turn? I don't want to jam Conjure into Cosmic Sinkhole, right? So I'm hoping to draw a 2-mana spell so I can Pensive Songwriter. Or really just any other card that I can jam off all this mana. Yeah, well anyways, I'm fetching right now, because no point not fetching right now. The Masek can pass, right? Feels bad, but I think that's what I have to do. Yeah. That does mean that if I ever draw a 2-mana spell, I can play Pensive Songwriter through a Portal Factor. Actually, yeah, it'll also be through a Cosmic Sinkhole. So yeah, I'm just really hoping to draw a 2-mana spell right now. Or actually just any other 3-drop, because it also means I can play a 3-drop through a Portal Factor or a Cosmic Sinkhole. If they get mounted, that's not a good sign, because that means they probably have Void Flare. No, they don't have Void Flare. Huh. I mean, them doing this basically just confirms that they don't have Void Flare. I think this kind of implies that they don't have any other red lands. I don't know if that's a good sign or not, but that's what I'm reading from their play. They don't have any other red lands, but they definitely have a red card in hand, but it's not Void Flare. Maybe it's Rogar's Frenzy then. I mean, if they want to Rogar's Frenzy one of my guys before I get to untap with them, then I'm fine with that, because that means they tap out and I get to try to slam Conjure Realities. Now, what do I do if I manage to get through a Conjure? I think I just get Dreamsight well and abound the Pensive Songwriter, because that's me refill, and eventually they're gonna run out of cards, right? Like, their cards can 1-for-1 me, but I have the mana advantage right now. Oh, they don't have a blue source. Do they have Solar Flare main board? Yeah, they have 3 Solar Flares main board, so they probably are holding onto a Solar Flare right now. In which case, that means I need to think about that if I ever want to start chaining. Your Pronouncer. Oh, okay, here I just Conjure Realities, right? Like, no point in not doing that. Conjure, fetch a Dreamsight, abound Pensive Songwriter. Is there anything more broken that I can do? Well, if I try to fetch Lurk or something like that, then I bound the Pensive, they kill Pensive in response, then I have nothing to Lurk. So yeah, definitely, I think I just get Dreamsight well. And then I guess I play Amber Hills tapped. Seems about right. Yeah, Conjure Realities. They let it resolve, yeah, because they don't have any answers to that, or any counters. So, funny thing about Temur Tempo is that Fog Spirit isn't actually good against them, because they have so many creature threats. But anyways, let's get the card that I'm actually going to get here, which is Dreamsight well, right? Is there anything else that I can get that would be good? No, because everything else just loses to Solar Flare at instant speed. So yeah, Dreamsight well to hand, and then abound the Pensive Songwriter. Let's see if this thing resolves. Resolves, wonderful. So anyways, Dreamsight well. I have to assume this resolves because, again, no blue mana for counter spells. Wonderful. Okay, so what sideboard cards do I want? I might actually bring in some Solar Flares, actually, right? Do I want more Forbidden Treasures? Are they good in this matchup? I'm not sure. Well, anyway, Solar Flares definitely go in, or at least 2 copies of these guys. And then, do I need Whiterun? No, I'm going too hard. Forbidden Treasure, I don't really need that either, right? I'll put in 1 copy. No point. That's good enough. Anyways, draw 5. Let's see what I get. Ooh, nice. And now I get to selective reading the Pensive Songwriter. They won't be able to kill it in response, right? So what can selective reading the Songwriter into? Oh yeah, right, I forgot. I can... Oh, select Free and Pensive Songwriter into Kyone. Kyone flashes back Conjure, right? Do I have enough Storm count to do that? So I have Conjure, Pensive, Dreamsight. Okay, yeah, that's enough Storm count. In that case, I'll new Divide for the Forest, I guess. And if they kill Pensive in response, then I'll just play Mana Ascetic. Yeah, that seems pretty good. So yeah, can they do anything in response to this? Okay, they just let through. Are they not holding onto Rogar's Frenzy / Solar Flare? Because, like, you really should be killing Pensive Songwriter in response to that, because otherwise I just get to do this. Wait, crap, this thing's not a wizard. I can't fetch Kyone with it. Well, this is still fine. I still have a human to fetch, right? I can just fetch Sanjing or something. Get a new Divide or something. Or, is there anything better I can fetch? What about 2-drops? Any good 2-drops I want to fetch? Not really. Yeah, I should have just played Mana Ascetic. But I can get Sanjing, like, that's fine. I Sanjing, I get back a land, I play Mana Ascetic off that. I mean, that's... And then I untap with, what, 5-6 mana next turn? I can also get Ancestral Council, fetching me a second Dreamsight well. Is that what I want? I mean, I already have Ancestral Council in hand, so... well... Actually, yeah, I want to get Ancestral Council so I have a 2-drop for Pensive Songwriter next turn in case I want to go for that. Right. So what's the worst that can happen? They kill my guys, they counter something, a Pensive, kill Pensive in response. I can still lurk the Mana Ascetics, I guess. Okay, yeah, I should probably just actually start doing stuff. Actually, I have a Dreamsight while floating. Yeah, maybe I should have just got Sanjing, but it's a bit too late for that, so do I get another selective reading? I get a lurk. I mean, that's the namesake of my deck. I don't need another Dreamsight well because I already have one floating in Exile, and I pass. So, end of turn Solar Flare? No, end of turn Matia. Okay, sure. So they're not holding a Solar Flare. So in hindsight, maybe I should have gotten Sanjing. Yeah, definitely should have gotten Sanjing instead of Ancestral Council. So they untap. So do they have a blue land? Because if they're mastery off blue, then it's really good for me. But they do have a blue land. So are they just playing... Did they top deck that? Because, yeah, they did fetch for a mountain, so... Kind of implies that they actually just don't have any blue cards in hand. In which case, that's also really good for me, because that means they don't have any counter spells. So I guess next turn I just go Pensive Songwriter, Lurk, and see what my opponent does. Do I need to kill both of my 3-drops in order to stop the Lurk chain? Okay, I'm fine with taking 3. So what if they have Cosmic Sinkhole for a stupid amount of mana? Then that's fine, because I can just cast or hard cast Lurk afterwards. I mean, either ways, I'm going to be really happy. Do I need blue? No, I need more... I should use both Mana Ascetics in case my opponent tries to kill any of these guys in response, right? And because I might be sacking them eventually. And I do want to preserve life totals, so I should play Mountain, right? Actually, if I play Mountain, then I can play Pensive and pay through a Cosmic Sinkhole. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I tap like this, right? Yeah, I'll leave one Mana Ascetic up, just in case. So yeah, Pensive Songwriter. Do you do anything? If they don't, I think I can just get a full chain off, right? Or did I resolve? So what lurks on Pensive Songwriter? They're thinking about it. Good. That means they have a response, but they're not doing it right away. Okay, they resolve. Do I just get... The thing is, I can just get... What's that guy called again? I can just get Caesar and steal Mattia. I mean, that's actually just good for me, right? And then afterwards, I can... I can hard cast a Lurk on the Mattia. That gets rid of it, right? Or I can just get Infectious Eagle. Like, how are they going to answer an Infectious Eagle, right? Or, actually... So, get Speaker of the Iris, abound out the Mana Ascetic, or Pronouncer, actually, because that basically gives you the same amount of mana. And then after that, I get Infectious Eagle. Like, they can't beat an Infectious Eagle early, I think. So in which case, I can just, I get Infectious Eagle, force them to sack something, and then try to hard cast Lurk again, and then see what happens. That I want the first, that plays around Cosmic Sinkhole the best, so I'll do that. Or, actually, Lurk is supposed to be in exile. Oh, okay, they're doing stuff. Panya, sure. So that means they're out of counter spells again. So now that means I can hard cast Lurk on the Ancestral Council and start going up the chain because they're tapped out. So then it'll be something like Lurk to Ancestral, get... Oh, actually, I still have Earthbreaker Behemoth somewhere in the deck, so I can just kill Mattia that way. But anyways, so... I'll leave Mana Ascetic alive. Anyways, sack Ancestral Council. They resolved. Do I get Speaker of the Artist or Fire Tree Seeker? If I get Fire Tree Seeker and they remove it in response, that's kind of bad, so I'll just get Speaker of the Artist. Because so if they kill it, then that's still good, because that means I managed to get free Pronouncer Preserves, I guess. Or do I want to Speaker out an Ancestral or Pronouncer? I think I'll Speaker out an Ancestral. Then ETB happens. Okay, they're just going to concede. Sure. guess they have no answer for the speaker, so Ego Swing coming in. It also means I don't have to calculate the lines anymore. But, I mean, okay, they didn't draw any early interaction. Yeah, that kind of sucks, because that's sort of what they want as the deck. But anyways, looking at my opponent's deck, they have still Pandemonium Forbidden Treasure. That's basically all Sunken Ambitions, maybe, and Spell Pierce. So they do have more counter spells to bring in post board. So that's going to be hard. Well, not hard, but annoying. So, as for what I'm going to do, more counter spells and more solar flares. Right, do I want solar flares against their deck? I think I do, but at the same time it just feels bad, but whatever. You're going in. Anyways, what's coming out? Bogborn, how good is that against my opponent? They have Bounty of the Gardens, right? Yeah, I'm keeping that in. Mythbreaker's kinda decent. Master Negotiator steals tokens. Power Scour is really good. Caesar steals tokens. Sackbow exiles graveyards. Honestly, everything's good here, right? Actually, I'm gonna take out Foxspear because that card's not actually good against them. And also, does Summit Guardian screw them over enough? I don't think it does. Like against Temur, you don't actually want to play the tax game because you can just go. They can play around the tax really effectively despite being half non-creature. Okay, maybe I can get this thing early, then it'd be good. Whatever, I'll cut it. I'm on a draw. I don't want to be playing Taxman when I'm on a draw, and they already can get their lands out first. So anyways, I'm keeping this hand because it's 2 Dreamsight Wells. And absolutely nothing else. Well, I mean, it has Lurk and Conjure, so it'll be good if I can get these guys off, but I'm keeping it mostly because it's 2 Dreamsight Wells. And like, even if they have one counter spell for the first Dreamsight Well, they have to counter the second one. Which they could probably do, but that means I get to eat up 2 counter spells with 2 mass spells. And afterwards, the follow-up is just Conjure Eyes and hope they don't have another counter spell. And if they don't, then I get to conjure for something like Pensive Songwriter, Lurk into Infectious Ego. Actually, yeah, Infectious Ego is just really good against them because they're a deck that has a small number of permanents in play, or a small number of really impactful permanents in play. Okay, Power Scatter. So maybe I'm fetching for blue instead of red. Well, anyways, Forest, Lush Oasis, right? Actually, Lush Oasis tapped. Yeah, I'll start with Lush Oasis tapped. In case I top deck, I don't know, something that I want to fetch red for. I want to play Dreamsight Well on 2 because that prevents my opponent from Veilborn Meddlering plus another spell. Okay, Power Scatter. Yeah, Power Scatter lets me instant speed. The Power Scatter end of turn, and then they untap, I Lurk. So do I Dreamsight Well with 7 cards in hand? I think I do, just because it basically lets me loot a bunch. But it definitely doesn't feel very nice to do that. Thing is, I'm not doing anything else, so yeah, if this eats up a counter spell, then that's also really good for me. Good, it eats a counter spell. No, they're thinking, please counter it. But the other thing about their deck is that they have no graveyard hate, so they are going to counter it. Good. That's one less counter spell going towards my actually impactful spells. Not that Dreamsight Well isn't impactful, but like actually board affecting spells. I'm assuming they're just going to play another land and pass. So that means I get to hold Power Scatter, which means I do have to fetch for blue. So I'm just hoping I don't draw any red cards that will make me regret fetching blue. Massetic. Interesting. So I have 2 ways I can go about this. I can play Dreamsight Well and then Massetic, or I can hold up Power Scatter. I think I want to hold up Power Scatter because that lets me do the end of turn Power Scatter thing, although that's not great either. And if I play Massetic plus Dreamsight Well, hopefully that baits out another counter spell for my opponent. And actually, that means they're forced to Portal Factory before they get to 4 lands for 1 or less. So that's good. So I should do that. I should force out the Portal Factory now. In that case, I should play Massetic. Yeah, I should play Massetic without playing my other land first in order to pretend that I'm mass-screwed, so they're more incentivized to... Oh. Okay, yeah, the jig is up. Do I Dreamsight Well here, or do I just pass? See, if Dreamsight Well... So, I play Dreamsight Well, it gets countered, they kill Massetic. How bad is that? It's not awful, because now I get to play Power Scatter in a turn, and then Lurk, that gets countered. Yeah, that's not great, but... You know what? I'm fine with that. And I'm fetching Island because in case Mass SA gets countered, that's the thing or gets killed, that's the thing I'm more worried about. Alright, is this Cosmic Sinkhole? Or is this like... Oof. Okay, Power Scatter. Yeah, that's definitely the worst outcome. Oh, I get to draw a card, right? I forgot. So that's my land for next turn. Do I just try to jam Conjure Realities? I want to be able to Power Scatter stuff too, though. Yeah, they're tapping out main phase. That's a good sign. Oh, that's not a good sign. So they did board in Sunken Ambitions, I guess to deal with Infectious Egos. So now I can play Conjure Eyes, but that's definitely getting countered, and Speak of the Devil, huh? How am I ever getting this thing cast? I can Lurk it, I can bound it off a Fading Oracle. I think here I play Mastic and I play and I hold a Power Scatter for end of turn. Then I have double. I don't have double lurk because I don't have the right. I don't have triple or quadruple blue or green. So yeah, Mastic. Let's resolve and I pass. Okay, they're not gonna do anything end of turn. Upkeep? No, I'm gonna do it end of turn, which is actually a bad thing because it means that they have more room to counter spells. Yeah, so now they can Cosmic Sinkhole for 4. They're gonna whack me for 3. I'm just gonna take. Okay, end of turn Power Scatter. Do you have a counter spell? Okay, they'll resolve. Good. So I get to untap with Power Scatter, but what do I do with that? Okay, so I have enough mana for Conjure plus Lurk. And that's really good because, so first I tried to Conjure. That's most definitely going to get countered. If it does get countered, then I play Lurk on the Power Scatter. Right, that's the plan I'm going with. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, let's... What if I just Lurk first and then Conjure? What does that get me? I Lurk first, I sack Power Scatter, I counter it, and then I follow up with Conjure. It's basically the same outcome, except I lose a Power Scatter for no reason, right? In case my first thing gets countered, right? Yeah. So in that case, should I tap Mastic first? No way to kill Mastic. I mean, even if they kill it, I can just do everything in main phase. I can just tap it for mana in response. So yeah, let's see. Does Conjure get countered? Of course it does. Oh, they're gonna have to... They're sinkholing for 3, right? But another Power Scatter? Oof. Yeah, that's pretty bad for me. But I get to draw cards, so maybe I draw something that's useful. So what are the chances they have another counter spell lined up? Well, the question is, can I afford to not go for it? I think the answer is no, because if I don't go for it, then I kind of... So if I wait, then I get to Lurk, and they can Cosmic Sinkhole for, what, 4? I can pace through that. But I want to... What are the chances to draw into... Well, even if they have 2 Power Factors, that's also fine. So, well, I take 6, and then they just burn me out, right? I think I'm just going to play assuming they don't have a second counter spell. They did tap in a sort of weird way, though, right? No, they're just trying to play out Molly. Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. Okay, do I have another counter spell? Resolves. Okay, you're out of counter spells. Good, good. Oh, there's what? Okay, so that's they definitely have a removal spell. Hoping that I fire True Seeker and then kill it in response. And what 4-drop should I get instead? I can Ego, but that's... Oh, it's already too late for Ego, actually. I can fire True Seeker, Flashback, Dreamsight. Well, that's probably too slow, because I just die to some burn spells afterwards. But that might actually be what I want to do, because what else am I doing, right? Anything that deals with the Power Scatters right now. Sort of in Izmir, which will grab one of the Power Scatters, but then what, right? You just kill it with 4 mana, and then now I'm back to where I started, except worse off. I think here I definitely just, yeah, I do fetch Fire True Seeker, and then I flashback Dreamsight. Well, okay, did it go through? Sure. So now I need to start gaining life, which means Whiterun Ordained is coming in. That's not something I hear myself say, but that's everything that gains life, so yeah. And that's exiled, and I draw 5 cards. Interesting. So Nebula is definitely getting discarded, because I can't afford to pay more life. Next turn, I can select Breeding True Seeker into... No, I can't do that. I could just Lurk the True Seeker or something, I guess. But if discard infects Eagle then, because, yeah, that card's basically useless in hand. It's even more useless than the land, so sure. Do they have end of turn... Okay, so are they fetching the mana land? Actually, discarding this thing is a bad idea. Right, because now I can't abound it. Okay, I made a misplay. Let's see. Bounty... Oh, crap. Okay, that's fine, I can block this thing. Or, no, I can't, because if I block it, then I lose my guy. And grabs back Lurk, though, so I can do something like, what? Like Kyone, grab Lurk, play Lurk on Kyone, go up into Ikadar. Okay, and that just gets me, yeah, that's just, I don't have Beckon, so. Is this a Solar Flare? No, Ignition Point. Okay, that still doesn't kill me, right? Yeah, they don't have lethal yet. Then I just have to play around a single counter spell, which I think I can do. Go down to 2 life. Actually, now that Infectious Eagle is in the yard, I can't Beckon into it, which might be a problem. And now I have to, well, Repaste rather kills both of these guys. Actually kills their entire board if it ever goes through. The problem here is this, I don't have access to Beckon right now, and I really need access to Beckon. So actually I can do something like Kyone, Breeding Ancestral Council, get Beckon, and then Lurk, start to chain. I can do that, right? This is the Cosmic Sinkhole, but at this point, Cosmic Sinkhole is the least of my worries right now. Eventually, I'll be able to go into something that gains me some life to get me out of burn range. And even if I don't, then Actually, no, I can play around it, but because I have 1 extra mana from Mana Ascetic. Nice. So just to make sure I'm tapping correctly, my most partial color right now is green, and yeah, I have enough green. So yeah, play Kyone. Does it get countered? Let through. Okay, good. Grab what lurks to hand. So selective breeding the Kyone. Does this get countered? Let through. Okay, good. Actually, Pensive Songwriter. Well, no, I need some way of getting back in. So yeah, I definitely need to get back in with Ancestral Council, or else I'm not getting it anywhere else in the chain. So yeah, back in. And here's the part where I hope you don't have a counter spell, because otherwise I lose. Resolves. Okay, good. They don't have counter spell. Well, time to go off. Unless they have their burn spell, in which case that makes no sense because they should have just killed me. And yeah, they don't have burn mana up. You just go off now. Right, they might have Sunken Ambition or something. Yeah, if they have Sunken Ambition, then they've definitely got me. So I'm just gonna pretend that they don't have anything, because, and if they have anything, they can just stop me or something. Because if they have anything, I just lose, and then I'll just concede. So yeah, Fading Oracle draws a card. Back in, Fire True Seeker. So it's 1 goes up, 1 goes down, right? Yeah, except this time I need to end up on a 3-drop. Or I need to end up on a Rapacious Straddler. Is there any way to go up? One of them definitely goes back in. The other one gets Select Breeding, which grabs Speaker, I guess. Okay, so back in Fire True Seeker gets, okay, Oracle, and gets Ancestral Council, which grabs 2 things. Speaker abounds. Okay, so in that case, yeah, I do Selective plus Beckon. So Beckon happens first. I sack that real thing. The Ancestral Council, which gets, what do I need? I need a up and down, right? So a Lurk and a Beckon. Do I need 2 Beckons? I'm not sure. Actually, no, I'm ending chain early, I think. Because I speakered this guy into... I speakered this guy into a Lurk, breeding this guy into a Speaker of the Iris, which doesn't actually let me cast it. Okay, so one of these guys is going down into... Okay, so that means I definitely do need a Beckon, because this guy is going to Speaker, Beckon, this guy into Announcer Preserves, so I need one thing that goes up. No, I need 2 Beckons, so the other guy goes to Rapacious Routers, which kills both of these guys. Okay, this is not going super well. Okay, maybe I need one thing that goes up so I can Beckon down. Oh, okay, yeah. Lurk Beckon, that's usually the right things to get. Actually, Breeding can get a Kyone, right? Breeding to Kyone, what does that do? It's me a Lurk. So Breeding by True Seeker gets me Seeker of the Iris, which, is it Lurk or Beckon? If I Lurk this guy into Fire True Seeker, it can go up and down the chain again. Might be worth it. Do I have what do I do? Okay. Yeah, I guess it's probably worth it. Or do I? No, it'll be all Beckons, right? I'll have 2 more Lurks in the yard. Yeah, I Beckon, like, well, at least this is like probably the best way to do it. Right now, so Preserves. So get 2 land auras and get a bunch of antelopes. So that thing doesn't get exiled. And Lurk one of these guys in Kyone, and okay, yeah, that does it. I'll get into Kyone. Kyone grabs a Lurk, and then Lurks into Fire True Seeker, which gets a Beckon, which, okay, Snake, yeah. And then it just needs some way of gaining life, which I can do with Caribou, which I actually don't have enough mana for. Okay, that's annoying. Actually, I just need to kill 2 Power Scatterers. I don't need to kill the other guy, right? So to Lurk here, get Lurk into Kyone, Kyone into Beckon. It's just annoying because, like, and I do have the White Rune Ordainer somewhere in there, right? Yeah. Well, time to start looking again. So yeah, is White Rune Ordainer somewhere in there? It is. I need to Beckon into this guy somehow. Actually, I could have just lurked into that guy thing, but and that ends my chain, and I need to keep going with my chain in order to actually do anything. Well, I shouldn't have searched because that's my last True Seeker. I need to go into my yard for that. That's annoying. So True Seeker, flashes back in. I can get 2 Kyones. And one of the Kyones can grab a Lurk, which what does 2 Kyones get me? 2 Lurks. And one of these guys goes into a Rapacious Router, which kills both these guys. The other guy lurks this guy into a White Rune Ordainer. Okay, that's fine. It's a bit scuffed, but whatever. I can afford to live with it. So yeah, Melt Selective Breeding. So yeah, that's 2 Lurks. The one of the Lurks goes into Rapacious Rattler. Rapacious Rattler kills the Flyers, and I can't lurk the second Rattler though. So actually, one of them, and then the other guy just goes into Caribou. Okay, or no, I sack Mastic to get White Rune Ordainer, which gains me a bunch of life, or 4 life, but that's enough to stabilize, I think. Because the other option is, well, actually no, I have Infectious Ego. Never mind. Yeah, that's perfect. So yeah, that's a sack, and that gains me 4 life. So yeah, pretty good. Okay, good. I got there. Seems like opponent ran out of counter spells, basically. And then they managed to get chain off, which, I mean, it's still a pretty scuffed chain, but it managed to get me there. And yeah, that's exactly what the 8-sack Dreamsight deck can do.